this goes beyond TDS. This right here is just disgusting.
Don't you think when he lets these white Africans in and claims that that's giving the middle finger to the black community?
No.
My God.
Listen, no, I don't. Let me tell you why.
Why?
I don't think so, because that finger has never gone down.
Okay, fine. Well, let's say it's gone higher.
I think that there are refugees who are far more in need, and those are the people that are being disrespected.
Yeah.
You talk about gaslighting. Seriously, man. Whoopi Goldberg and The View just really sat there laughing about these farmers, these white farmers being murdered in South Africa, only because they feel like it's some sort of conspiracy theory. They don't believe it to be real. This is funny to them, but it's not funny. This is real. Y'all out here mocking people, acting like this was some sort of made-up idea that Trump wanted to do this. And they acting like this all because it's Trump the one that's shedding light on this. Well, and also, that's how, they white, and you know how that goes in today's progressive society. But that's how far they're willing to go. If Trump mentions it or touches it to any capacity, positive or negative, it's going to be labeled fake. But over 1,300 deaths since 1990 of farmers, that's not a theory, man. That is a body count. Now, I don't know how you say this woman's name, but I'll say this. Watch this left-wing anchor. I'll say that. Journalist. Watch the subtle differences between how she questions Trump and how she questions Kamala Harris, or the Trump administration, rather.
Video showed images of crosses in South Africa about white farmers who have been killed and politically persecuted because of the color of their skin. And those crosses are representing their lives. Those crosses are representing their lives in the fact that they are now dead and their government did nothing about it. Are you disputing that there's no...
The fact that the video showed what the president claimed it showed, because it did not show that. But even more, what I'm asking you is who at the White House...
No, it did show that. It showed white crosses representing people who have perished because of racial persecution.
Verifies the videos that the president shows, and what protocols are in place when there's unsubstantiated information being put out for the world and world leaders to show?
What's unsubstantiated about the video?
I've talked to Americans from all across this country in all walks of life who are inspired by your story. What's your message to them as they are looking at your journey, especially the history that you are making and might make as the first Black woman and Indian woman to break down this glass ceiling? And even now, of course, making the history that you're making now. We have to go, but you talk about your mother, and what do you think your mother would be telling you in these final days before this election against Donald Trump?
Just go beat him. That's probably what she'd say. Yeah, that's my mother.
Okay.
First of all, shout out to Karoline Leavitt for setting her straight. She actually went in a little bit more, basically saying, hey, I'm paraphrasing, but basically going, hey, the footage is there. You keep saying that this is unverified information, but even, I believe she alluded to her own, the publication that she's working for alongside, published and said that those crosses were verified to be what Karoline Leavitt, said they were. But that's the media's greatest trick, pretending to be fair. You see how that journalist turned into an attack dog when Trump team brought up the farmer killings. They act like this every single time. See who verified this? Where did you get that footage from? As if she about to crack open the case for us. But when Kamala got on the mic suddenly, she's Oprah. What would your mother say if she see you break the glass ceiling? If y'all don't get that crap out of here, you don't flip like this if you neutral. That's literally narrative control. This is why the trust is gone in Democrat and legacy media. My gosh, man. Now, let's go ahead and watch this clip in full where Whoopi and Sarah Haynes make fun of the genocide of white farmers.
You to know what's happening in our world. So, South African President Ramaphosa paid a visit to the White House yesterday, which turned into a surprise presentation on conspiracy theories of a white genocide in his country. Take a look.
We have many people that feel they're being persecuted and they're coming to the United States. So we take from many locations if we feel there's persecution or genocide going on. We do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
and then
take
when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
nothing happens to them.
There is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately, through criminal activity are not
man, I can't wait to show y'all how big of a liar he turned out to be.
only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now
The farmers are black. The farmers are not black. I don't say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black.
Oh my God! So between ambushing Zelensky and this,
Oh, there go that ambush word.
why would world leaders continue to come to the White House?
Okay, well,
Because they need him and you guys can't seem to understand it.
first of all, this is the problem with getting all your information from Laura Loomer and Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Because this is what they're going to deal you. And it was false conspiracy theory. One, the fact that the president of South Africa was trying to share was that data collected by white farmers themselves.
Oh my gosh. Aren't you tired of getting these men? Sorry, y'all, didn't mean to do that. They keep doing that, man. They keep doing that. They keep doing that. Instead of checking the facts, the View, they doubling down. The data came from white farmers themselves, they said, man. And then still called it a conspiracy. Let me get this straight. I got to. When victims bring you their own numbers and their own stories and their own footage, you mock it. Which makes me go, it's not that they don't believe them. It's just that they don't care. Now, this is the moment right here, obviously, where Trump was confronting Ramaphosa. Y'all keep telling me I'm saying his name wrong, but it says the South African president brought white golfers with him to try and prove there's no systemic persecution of whites in South Africa. But golfer, Retief Goosen tells Trump that his dad's former friends have been killed and farms are constantly being burned. I don't know why that was such a challenge for me to read that. Anywho, we here.
I grew up in an area in South Africa that is a farmland area, Polokwane, and there is some issues up there. Obviously, my dad was a property developer as well as a part-time farmer, and some of these buddy farmers got killed. The farm is still going. My brothers run it. But it's a constant battle with farms trying to burn the farms down to chase you away. So it is a concern to try and make a living as a farmer. And at the end, without farmers, there's no food on the plate. So we need the farmers to produce the food.
Farming, right? He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't even want to do what you're doing, right? They love farming. They don't want to leave. But it's a struggle.
Yeah, and food and fresh water is the most important thing in life. Without those two things, you can't survive.
How is the water there?
The water is great. Obviously, all the water comes out of the borehole, out of ground for us down there. But it is a battle to get the water out sometimes when all the equipment gets stolen all the time that you're trying to get the water out.
So does your family and your brother, do they feel safe on the farm?
They live behind electric fences, try and be at night safe. But it is constant whenever you leave that something could happen. And
there's nowhere to live.
Both of them has been attacked in their houses. My mom's been attacked in her house when she was 80. So it is difficult.
Well, can you say backfired? I mean, I guess golfer was supposed to be there to, this golfer, I mean, supposed to be there to sort of make it seem like, hey, everything is going all right over here on the white side in South Africa. But it ended up revealing the exact opposite. That man kept getting slapped in the face that day. And it even got verified through Groke. It says, is this true? Who brought the golfers? Yes, President Cyril Ramaphosa brought golfers Ernie Els and Relief Goosen to the meeting, basically. Yep. Trump brought those white men to speak on behalf of South Africa. Actually, you should try actually watching the whole thing. Those are Trump's very close friends for over 40 years from South Africa, very rich businessmen. I wouldn't know. However, let's go ahead and continue to
I
move
grew
on
up in
real
an
quick.
area in South Africa that is a farm.
We have right here. It says, I think the president of South Africa owes President Trump an apology. Here is President Ramaphosa, or Posa, I don't know how y'all tell me to say it, stating he will confiscate land from white farmers and redistribute it to, quote, our people without compensation.
This year, we will take decisive action to realize the enormous economic potential of agriculture. And as agriculture requires land, as agriculture needs land as a basic resource, we will accelerate our land distribution program not only to redress a grave historical injustice, but also to bring more producers into the agricultural sector and to make more land available to our people for cultivation. We will pursue a comprehensive approach that makes effective use of all mechanisms at our disposal. Guided by the resolutions of the 54th National Conference of the governing party, this approach will include the expropriation of land without compensation.
Yep, that's not equality. That looks like revenge. And it also proves that Trump was trying to expose the very thing he tried to tell us didn't exist. I mean, what more do you want? However, I do want y'all to see this. How he reflected on the conversation that he had with Donald Trump, or, you know, that whole meeting, rather.
How did you feel sitting there?
I felt that I was sitting across as a president who has a lot of power, has a lot of focus.
How did you feel sitting there?
Hey, I will say this. Even after all that tension, even he had to admit that sitting across from Trump, you feel the power. And you can see the focus. You can say what you want about Trump, man, but leaders feel it too when they're in the room with him. So-called leaders too. This ain't about race, y'all. I always tell y'all it's always about the truth. And the truth is the media always continues to pick sides over and over and over. Y'all be safe, please. Go check out somebody today. Before y'all do that, though, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Y'all know I don't ever ask that. Actually, I'm one of them creators that think it's hella corny to be like, hey, like, follow, and subscribe. Because it's sort of like, if you was going to do it, you was going to do it. But please, go check out somebody today. You could be saving their life. Peace.